Getting ready for the PCT exam 2026? This video brings you 30 important practice questions to test your knowledge and boost your confidence quickly. Stay with Learning with MCQ till the end, check your score, and see how prepared you are for the real exam. Question number 1. A patient suddenly develops shortness of breath while lying flat. What is the most appropriate immediate action by a PCT? A. Encourage the patient to sleep. B. Assist the patient into a high Fowler's position. C. Offer food and fluids. D. Turn the patient on their left side. Answer B. High Fowler's position helps expand the lungs and improves breathing in patients experiencing dyspnea. It reduces pressure on the diaphragm and is a priority intervention. Question number 2. While measuring a patient's radial pulse, the PCT notes an irregular rhythm. What should be done next? A. Record the pulse as normal. B. Stop immediately and leave. C. Report the irregularity to the nurse. D. Count for 10 seconds only. Answer C. An irregular pulse may indicate a cardiac issue such as arrhythmia. The PCT must report abnormal findings to the nurse for further assessment and intervention. Question number 3. A PCT is assisting with a sterile dressing change. What action would break sterile technique? A. Wearing sterile gloves. B. Touching the sterile field with bare hands. C. Opening sterile supplies carefully. D. Keeping the field above waist level. Answer B. Touching a sterile field with bare hands introduces microorganisms and contaminates the field, making it no longer sterile and unsafe for patient care. Question number 4. When transferring a weak patient from bed to wheelchair, what is the safest method? A. Pulling the patient by the arms. B. Using a gait belt for support. C. Asking the patient to walk alone. D. Lifting without assistance. Answer B. A gait belt provides stability and reduces the risk of falls or injury to both the patient and the caregiver during transfers. Question number 5. A patient's oxygen saturation drops from 96% to 88%. What should the PCT do first? A. Ignore the reading. B. Turn off oxygen. C. Document and wait. D. Report immediately to the nurse. Answer D. A drop to 88% indicates hypoxemia. Immediate reporting is essential so the nurse can intervene and prevent complications. Question number 6. Which site is most appropriate for measuring an adult patient's oral temperature? A. Under the tongue. B. Inside the cheek. C. On the lips. D. Under the chin. Answer A. The sublingual pocket under the tongue provides the most accurate oral temperature reading due to consistent blood supply. Question number 7. A PCT observes redness and warmth at N4 site. What is the likely concern? A. Dehydration. B. Normal finding. C. Infection or phlebitis. D. Low blood pressure. Answer C. Redness and warmth at N4 site suggest inflammation or infection, phlebitis, which must be reported promptly. Question number 8. What is the correct order of PP removal to prevent contamination? A. Gloves, gown, mask. B. Mask, gloves, gown. C. Gown, mask, gloves. D. Gloves, mask, gown. Answer A. Gloves are removed first as they are most contaminated, followed by gown, then mask to minimize exposure risk. Question number 9. A patient is on fall precautions. Which action is most appropriate? A. Raise all side rails and leave. B. Keep the bed in the lowest position. C. Turn off the call light. D. Leave clutter near the bed. Answer B. Keeping the bed low reduces injury risk if the patient attempts to get up. It is a key safety intervention. Question number 10. While collecting a urine specimen, what is the correct technique? A. Use the first urine stream. B. Collect from toilet water. C. Use midstream clean catch method. D. Skip hand hygiene. Answer C. A midstream clean catch reduces contamination from skin bacteria, ensuring a more accurate lab result. Question number 11. A PCT is caring for a patient with diabetes who becomes shaky and confused. What is the priority action? A. Give insulin immediately. B. Check blood glucose level. C. Encourage the patient to sleep. D. Restrict fluids. Answer B. Shakiness and confusion suggest possible hypoglycemia. The first step is to confirm blood glucose level before taking further action to ensure appropriate treatment. Question number 12. When performing hand hygiene with alcohol-based sanitizer, how long should hands be rubbed? A. 5 seconds. B. Until dry, about 20 seconds. C. 2 minutes. D. 10 seconds only. Answer B. Hands should be rubbed together until completely dry, typically around 20 seconds, to effectively kill microorganisms. Question number 13. A patient complains of calf pain and swelling. What condition should the PCT suspect? A. Hypertension. B. Pneumonia. C. Deep vein thrombosis, DVT. D. Hypoglycemia. Answer C. Calf pain and swelling are classic signs of DVT, a serious condition that can lead to pulmonary embolism if untreated. Question number 14. Which position is best for a patient receiving an enema? A. Supine position. B. Prone position. C. Left Sims position. D. High Fowler's position. Answer C. Left Sims position allows gravity to help the enema solution flow into the colon more effectively. Question number 15. A PCT is emptying a urinary drainage bag. What is the correct practice? A. Let the spout touch the container. B. Empty into a clean measuring container without contamination. C. Raise the bag above bladder level. D. Skip documentation. Answer B. Maintaining cleanliness prevents infection. The drainage spout should not touch surfaces to avoid contamination. Question number 16. A patient is NPO before surgery. What does this mean? A. No physical observation. B. Nothing by mouth. C. No pain observed. D. Normal patient order. Answer B. NPO, nil per os, means the patient must not eat or drink to reduce the risk of aspiration during procedures. Question number 17. What is the normal range for adult respiratory rate? A. 8 to 10 breaths per minute. B. 10 to 14 breaths per minute. C. 12 to 20 breaths per minute. D. 20 to 30 breaths per minute. Answer C. The normal adult respiratory rate is 12 to 20 breaths per minute. Values outside this range may indicate respiratory issues. Question number 18. A PCT notices a patient becoming suddenly unresponsive. What is the first action? A. Call for help and activate emergency response. B. Document the event later. C. Leave the patient alone. D. Give water. Answer: A. Immediate activation of emergency response ensures rapid medical intervention, which is critical in life-threatening situations. Question number 19. Which action helps prevent pressure ulcers in bedridden patients? A. Keeping the patient in one position. B. Repositioning every 2 hours. C. Limiting fluid intake. D. Using hard surfaces. Answer: B. Frequent repositioning relieves pressure on the skin and promotes circulation, preventing pressure ulcers. Question number 20. When collecting a sputum specimen, what instruction should be given to the patient? A. Spit saliva only. B. Collect after eating. C. Take a deep breath and cough deeply. D. Drink water first. Answer: C. Deep coughing produces sputum from the lungs, which is necessary for accurate diagnostic testing. Question number 21. A PCT is caring for a patient with a nasogastric (NG) tube. What is the priority before administering feeding? A. Flush with cold water. B. Check tube placement. C. Raise the bed after feeding. D. Give feeding quickly. Answer: B. Verifying NG tube placement is critical to prevent aspiration. Feeding into a misplaced tube can cause serious complications, including aspiration pneumonia. Question number 22. While assisting with ambulation, the patient begins to fall. What should the PCT do? A. Try to hold the patient upright forcefully. B. Step aside quickly. C. Ease the patient to the floor safely. D. Leave to call for help. Answer: C. Attempting to stop a fall abruptly can cause injury to both patient and caregiver. The safest action is to guide the patient gently to the floor. Question number 23. A patient has a fever of 39 degrees Celsius, 102.2 degrees Fahrenheit. What is the PCT's responsibility? A. Ignore the reading. B. Provide cold food. C. Document only. D. Report to the nurse. Answer: D. A high fever indicates possible infection or other conditions requiring medical evaluation. Reporting ensures timely intervention. Question number 24. Which sign indicates hypoxia in a patient? A. Pink lips. B. Slow breathing. C. Bluish discoloration of lips. D. Increased appetite. Answer: C. Cyanosis, bluish lips or skin, is a late sign of hypoxia, indicating insufficient oxygen in the blood and requiring immediate attention. Question number 25. What is the correct technique for counting respirations? A. Tell the patient you are counting. B. Count while the patient is aware. C. Count immediately after pulse without alerting patient. D. Ask the patient to breathe faster. Answer: C. Patients may alter their breathing if aware. Counting respirations discreetly after pulse measurement provides a more accurate rate. Question number 26. A PCT is caring for a patient with contact precautions. What PP is required? A. Mask only. B. Gloves and gown. C. Gloves only. D. Face shield only. Answer B. Contact precautions require gloves and gown to prevent transmission of infectious organisms through direct or indirect contact. Question number 27. What is the primary purpose of hand hygiene in healthcare? A. To save time. B. To improve appearance. C. To prevent infection transmission. D. To follow routine only. Answer C. Hand hygiene is the most effective way to prevent the spread of infections between patients and healthcare workers. Question number 28. A patient is experiencing orthostatic hypotension. When should BP be measured? A. Only while lying down. B. Only after eating. C. In the morning only. D. In lying, sitting, and standing positions. Answer D. Orthostatic hypotension is diagnosed by comparing blood pressure in different positions to detect significant drops upon standing. Question number 29. Which action ensures patient privacy during care? A. Leaving doors open. B. Discussing patient details loudly. C. Closing curtains or doors. D. Ignoring patient concerns. Answer C. Closing curtains or doors maintains dignity and confidentiality, which are essential aspects of patient-centered care. Question number 30. A PCT is measuring intake and output. Which should be included as output? A. For fluids given. B. Oral fluids consumed. C. Urine and vomit. D. Food intake. Answer C. Output includes all fluids leaving the body such as urine, vomit, and drainage. Accurate measurement is essential for assessing fluid balance.